All right, y'all. Today we got another tier list. Today we doing the NFL teams. Let's get into it. All right, y'all. So first and foremost, I'm gonna try to have an unbiased opinion. I may be a team, maybe if I may have a favorite team, and I may have some favorite players, but I'm gonna be as unbiased as possible. You know what I'm saying? First we have Saints. Saints, they're gonna be a decent team. They're gonna be better than last year, but I do not believe they're gonna be a playoff team. So they're definitely gonna miss the playoffs this year. But they're growing. They're developing. They recently got Derek Carr. You know, they have some young pieces. They have their young O lineman, some young O lineman, young receiver. You know what I'm getting at. Like they're gonna eventually be good, eventually be better, but not this year. Dolphins playoff team. I believe they're gonna be a playoff team just because of the fact like last year they were a good team. Not too many moves other than Jalen Ramsey, which is just gonna make them better. They lost a Landon Roberts, but they have some developing linebackers, outside linebackers. And you know what I'm saying? They're gonna get better. Baltimore Ravens, they're gonna be potential wild cards in my opinion. AFC North's gonna be a very hard division. Every single team has the possibility of making the playoffs and even the Super Bowl. So it's like, yeah, Bengals definitely a contender, Super Bowl contender because just the simple fact that they have that young core that is already developed as we've seen, and they're just gonna get better. I don't think they're the favorites, but they're definitely up there. And for Super Bowl favorites, I'm gonna have the NFC favorite and the AFC favorite. You know what I'm saying? I think we know who those two teams are, but I'm just gonna have them up there. Broncos, they are mediocre at best. They struggled last year. They recently got their head coach, but I still think they're gonna be pretty bad. O line is not that good around Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson's a decent quarterback, but they have the receivers. They just don't have the team. You know what I'm saying? Giants, it's this NFC North. I mean, AFC North and the NFC East are kind of similar, where the teams are going to be they're going to be similar in skill. One outstanding team, and then the three others are pretty good as well. So the Giants, I will say, potential wild cards, because I feel like although like these two teams are good teams, it's just going to be the struggle within the division. Because there's the Cowboys, there's the Commanders, there's the Giants, there's the Eagles. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be hard. Same thing with the Vikings, potential wild cards. Actually, I could see them being a playoff team. The people in their division are like, I, I feel as though they will probably be the best team in the division. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I feel. Yeah. So the Vikings are probably going to be the best team in their division. Between them and the Lions, Packers, no, I don't think. I don't think they're going to be. I don't think they're going to be that good. And the same thing with the Bears. Bears, they're still developing. Rams, mediocre at best. I don't believe they have the picks to. I would put them in number one pick contention, but I don't think they have their first round pick. Let me check real quick. I was wrong actually. So the Rams actually do keep their first round pick for 2024. So I'm gonna put them in number one pick contention. Buccaneers, same thing, number one pick contention. They lost Tom Brady. Their team is slowly, I'm not gonna say falling apart, but definitely regressing. Seen it last year, and we're gonna see it again this year with like a worse quarterback. And but eventually I think they'll come back. They have a lot of skilled players, Tristan Wirfs, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. It's just a matter of how long they can keep those players. But yeah. Um Lions definitely potential wild card teams. Last year, I believe they went 9-8 or 8-9. But they're definitely better this year. Jared Goff is a skilled quarterback in my opinion. They have the wide receiver threats. They have a developing O line, which is pretty good in my opinion. And they got their running back in Jahmyr Gibbs in the first round. I believe they got a middle linebacker. So they're developing their defense, and I think it's going to be pretty good. Bears, young but intriguing. They're definitely going to develop into a really good team. You know, Justin Fields is a very interesting quarterback to me. He's very fast, very agile, very. He's eventually going to be, in my opinion, a top 10 quarterback either by the end of the season, next season, whatever. He's a pretty good quarterback in my opinion. Um, 49ers playoff team. I don't know. I don't know if Brock Purdy stays as consistent as he was at the end of the season and into the playoffs. You know, I think they're a good team, but it's just a matter of the quarterback. And yeah, that's just my opinion. I don't think they're contenders. They could be contenders, depending on how you feel. But yeah, Eagles Super Bowl favorite. They you saw it last year. They had the best O line, top five quarterback. They lost their running back in Miles Sanders, but they gained like four other average running backs. They definitely had the receivers. They definitely had the defense. They lost a little bit on defense in C.J. Gardner Johnson and T.J. Edwards, but they did pick up some other people. They picked up Miles Jack. They picked up Terrell Edmonds from the Steelers. But yeah, um, Raiders. The Raiders. I think they're gonna miss the playoffs, but they have Garoppolo. They have some young players that they recently drafted. They have Devontae Adams, who's always gonna be good, but I don't think they're making the playoffs. Also, I'd have these potential wildcard teams do not count as the 14 team. Well, I don't know. We'll see by the end, but I don't know if I'm going to consider these um you know what I'm saying, these all of these together to be this 14 playoff teams. See, Green Bay missing playoffs. Missing playoffs. I don't know if I want to I'm going to say young but intriguing for me because they have Jordan Love, they have Christian Watson, and I feel like they're going to develop eventually into a pretty good core, but they're going to miss the playoffs, but they're young but intriguing. But they're not mediocre. I don't know. It's like it's a mixture. Commanders, you know, one of the teams in the division has to miss the playoffs, I feel like. And it's probably going to be the Commanders. They actually, yeah, because the Eagles are going to win the division. Cowboys are probably going to make the playoffs. And they will play what is it? They're going to play 6 games just in their division alone, and they're going to lose most of them. So I feel like they probably will miss the playoffs, but I don't know. It's just they could make the wild card, so I could put them here, but I'm gonna put them here. Cardinals number one pick contention. Drake May, Caleb Williams could be any of their picks. These three teams could have Drake May, Caleb Williams. Um, I think Shawdeer is going to be in the draft. Any of them, all three of them could draft those quarterbacks. And the Steelers. This is my favorite team, but in all honesty, they show potential playoff team. I believe they'll be the second best team in the division. And you know what I'm saying? Like they're gonna be good. And in all honesty, like they they picked up some free agents. Isaac, they picked up Isaac Samalu for their O line. They got Broderick Jones. They got a promising corner, Joey Porter Jr. I mean, they're growing, and they were 9-8 last year. Can't see Tomlin losing a single season. Kenny Pickett's growing. George Pickens growing. Deontay Johnson efficient, possibly still growing. And I see them as a contender in the playoffs. Maybe not. I don't know if they go deep in the playoffs, but I see them making the playoffs. They're only a few pieces away. Bills Super Bowl contenders. No, like in all honesty, they're still a good team, and they will be for the next few years at least. I don't see them being a bad team. They lost not to Tremaine Edmonds in free agency, but I don't see them dropping too far away. They could be like in the front of playoff teams. As a matter of fact, I don't know. No, I'm gonna put them here, put them here. That's in all honesty. I don't see them beating out the Bengals, beating out the clear favorite, you know what I'm saying? So yeah. Falcons young but intriguing. Bijan Robinson, Desmond Ridder, Drake London, all young, all promising. It's just a matter of time until they become a playoff team. Um, Seahawks, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if I'd say them as a playoff team. No, they definitely are a playoff team, but I don't. It's a line between wild card and playoff team. They the Seahawks probably will be a wild card team though, just because of the simple fact of the 49ers. But yeah, I mean they're gonna be a good team, and and this could, oh, and I don't know if the Steelers could go down the wild card because of the Bengals winning the division, but yeah, well, yeah, you know what I'm saying, probably will go down the wild card, potential wild cards because of the Bengals, but yeah, this is it's between these two. I think the Steelers will beat them out, but we'll see. Patriots missing playoffs. I don't know if I want to put them in young but promising. I mean, they drafted Christian Gonzalez, I believe. Let me check. Let me make sure I'm saying the right corner. Yes, they drafted Christian Gonzalez in the draft, and he's young, but I don't think they as enough players to be young but intriguing because I'm not intrigued. And quite honestly, they eventually will probably pick it back up with Bill Belichick being their head coach. I don't see them. They probably will be 7-10. In all honesty, yeah, that's just how I feel. Browns. I don't want to put them in potential wild cards because I don't think they're beating out the Steelers, Ravens, or Bengals. Bottom of the division. They eventually, I don't know. If Deshaun Watson returns to his form, he could beat them out, but I can see him bringing out his form, but I don't see them still being a wild card team. All right. Texans, young but intriguing. C.J. Stroud, Will Anderson. He doesn't really have as many receiver threats. They have their rookie corner from last year returning, and yeah, they're just intrigued. They're just young. You know what I'm saying? I want to see C.J. Stroud play. I want to see Will Anderson. Will Anderson was one of those players I was hoping the Steelers, if they were as bad as I thought they could have been last year, they would have got, but we weren't terrible. And plus, we already have Alex Highsmith. But yeah, you already know. Number one favorite, Kansas City Chiefs. They do everything well and they do it efficiently. They win Super Bowls. Patrick Mahomes is the number one player in the league, number one quarterback. Travis Kelce, number one tight end, top top 10 player in my opinion. You know, and he has Justin Ross, who's I've seen in the camp. He's doing pretty good along with Patrick Mahomes. Um, and yeah, their O line's pretty good. They have a decent defense. They have Nick Bolton. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna be a good team. Um, you know what I'm saying? Cowboys potential wild card team. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't. It's gonna be between them and the Giants. Saquon Barkley did come back on that 1 year deal, and they're gonna get the Giants snagged Evan Ingram. I feel like they might be over the Cowboys, but I do not know. Chargers, Chargers, same thing. Potential wild card team. Justin Herbert. You know what I'm saying? Herbert, his receivers, Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, Derwin James. Like they have the players. It's just if they can bring it together. They fought the Jaguars in the playoffs last year, lost. You know what I'm saying? They just need to be able to maintain what they have and keep it consistent. And that's just how I feel. The Chargers are along with the Chiefs in the division, so they definitely could be a wild card team. It's just a matter of fact whether or not they're gonna win out games. I don't know if they can bring it over the top in the AFC to like this fifth, sixth, seventh seed, but we will see. You know what I'm saying? Like only three teams can be in the wild card. So or in each conference, only three teams can be in the wild card. So it's just a matter of who's it gonna be. We have up here four we have four NFC teams, three AFC teams, but there might be more. Some of these seven teams definitely aren't making the wild card, but all of them are contending for it. You know what I'm saying? Jets, I think they're a wild card team. So although we already had three AFC teams, I think they can contend between. I think it'll be between probably these two for the spot. Because I think these two can definitely make the playoffs together, but we'll see. Panthers, young but intriguing. Bryce Young, they have their developing O line. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think they're gonna make a big impact this season. But they'll be there. Titans mediocre at best. Will Levis, Malik Willis, and Ryan Tannehill. Ryan Tannehill is gonna definitely be the number one, but they just don't have the team. They have Derrick Henry. They have a decent coach, but I don't think they're good enough. They picked up Hopkins, but we've seen before where the older legendary receivers go to the Titans to for the career to end. Julio Jones, it happened. DeAndre Hopkins, it may happen too. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. Colts mediocre at best. They have some intriguing players that are young in Anthony Richardson, but I don't think they're gonna make any significant push towards being a playoff team. So yeah, Jaguars potential potential wild card. You know what I'm saying? I could see them making the wild card. I think I might be able to move. I'm gonna adjust this tier list to make it accurate towards like the rankings in the divisions. So I'll see y'all when I get done with that. All right, so I went ahead and fixed it according to the divisions. I moved the Saints up in for their division, NFC South. So every team is according to their. It should be accurate respective to divisions and the winners of those divisions. But yeah, this is how I feel. You know, I also ranked it by the left end being the best to the right being the worst. So I have the Cowboys being the best potential, Jaguars, Steelers, Seahawks, Jets, Ravens, Chargers, Lions, Saints. Same thing here, same thing here, same thing here, same thing across the board. But yeah, this is my tier list. Let me know how you feel. I'm out of here.